Another dominant win in the books for one Canelo Alvarez. Now, I have been a critic of Canelo Alvarez. I have called it how I see it on the man, and tonight I have to give him props. Tonight he went out there against Jermell Charlo, did his thing, and can't really say too many things negatively about it. He answered the questions post fight. He talked about the 12 rounds, how that means you're better. And I get what he's saying there. He is right. However, you still have to, ask the question of why couldn't we see a finish tonight? Why couldn't we see Canelo Alvarez go out there and finish Jermell Charlo? Well, Jermell Charlo's a great fighter. Hats off to him. Jermell Charlo, other than that, didn't let his hands go tonight. And he even said after the fight, I wasn't myself in there, and that he moved up 14 pounds. So as the guy who's supposed to lose, Canelo's the favorite. I think in this case, especially how early it was established that Canelo was the bull in the china shop and Charlo was the one that had to be on his bicycle moving around. In that case, you have to think Canelo got to finish that fight. And I think maybe old Canelo does finish that fight. I think maybe a Canelo of 4 years ago finishes that fight. But now, I don't know. I am starting to believe in this he's on the slide theory, even though we haven't seen much of it, in losses anyways. We've seen him win, but you could like point out in the wins the weak points, you know what I mean, where you could see him start to slip. Um, I like Canelo Alvarez. I just don't like the way the media at one point in time was trying to make him out to be the greatest boxer of all time, the greatest Mexican boxer of all time. I think you guys still have to give that to Julio Cesar Chavez. Still, just the respect that he gets from the people and things like that. Like the cultural icon that he was and is. Um, with that said, Canelo is damn. Where the fuck was I? Where was I going with that? Oh, the media. The media, Canelo Alvarez, is he the greatest of all time or pound for pound best? No, he's not, bro. Like, he's not. And I don't think that's crazy to say. I think that's, like, kind of obvious to say. But his fans go crazy in the head and they're like, no, what are you talking about? He's the GOAT. He's not, bro. He's not. And we saw that against Beevil. A lot of that talk quieted down when Beevil went out there and did his thing. Um, he didn't mention him tonight either. And I feel like how do you not? You know what I mean? Like any of the greats for Canelo Alvarez, like in boxing, any of the greats out there when they lose a fight like that, they tend to say I want it back. You know what I mean? They tend to go out there and want a rematch and shit like that. Canelo was like, I'm good, you know what I mean? And that's fine because Canelo was attempting to be great by moving up and fighting Bivol in the first place, right? He was attempting to be great, moving all the way up. And that's fine, but I don't know, like for Canelo to still talk about nobody beats this version of me or whatever the case may be, it's like, bro, come on now. Um, and also, David Benavidez was mentioned. Jim Gray mentioned him too, and the promoter gave him the craziest side eye in the world. Like, bro, why are you bringing him up right now? You know what I mean? Like, don't mention him. Don't mention him. He's the boogeyman. And it is what it is. But I want to see that fight, and I want to see Canelo get tested. Not because I want to see Canelo lose. I don't. You know what I mean? Like I was watching tonight because I watch the sport, I break down the sport. I'm looking to see how Charlo could possibly do it. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, maybe he could counter him when Canelo's getting really aggressive and leading with the left hook to the body and to the head. Maybe he can counter him with a shot, things like that. But I'm not like hoping, oh, please, please, please let Canelo lose. No, I'm not like that at all. Like, I'm just watching the fight. And I would have liked to have seen Canelo finish it. You get what I'm saying? Like, when Canelo had him hurt in the seventh round, cracked him in the head, dropped him. When Canelo had him hurt, I wanted to see him set up more shots. I just want to see compelling matchups. I don't want to see a foregone conclusion or Canelo Alvarez being a big favorite again. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's fighting someone to where he's the big favorite because he's just that damn good. It just so happens that the guy's coming up two weight classes to come and fight you. When you got a guy in your weight class, David Benavidez, who's like raising his hand and like over here, pick me, you know, and he just beat up Caleb Plant. Like, I want to see that fight. That's the fight I want to see. And Canelo, I think, is reluctant to fight him. He says in these interviews, yeah, I'll fight him. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And it's like, okay, but why aren't you? You know what I mean? Why aren't you? And I think there's something to do with that when Canelo said in an interview that he did not want to fight Mexican fighters. I thought that was crazy when he said that. He was saying this about, yeah, I want to represent my country and and I don't want to fight like my brothers and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, your brothers like David Benavidez, like he wants an opportunity too to represent his country of Mexico. You know what I mean? Like he wants to do the same thing. So it's like you got to give them an opportunity. You can't blackball them from the fucking middleweight title because you're the champion. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? You're giving everybody else an opportunity, but not your brothers. It doesn't make sense. So I just think he wants to be the face of Mexico. And if David Benavidez goes in there and, beats the shit out of him, I think it could be a problem for that brand, that image. And now that will be 3 losses on Canelo's career, Floyd, Benavidez, Bivol. So I don't know if he really wants to go through that. And yeah, I think David Benavidez goes in there and he lets his hands go. I think David Benavidez goes in there and he leaves it all in the ring. I think he's going in there to win as opposed to Charlo, who was very much happy with, I didn't get knocked out though. That's what he was saying after the fight. Oh, but I didn't get knocked out though, which is fine. It's true. It's true, you got to give him credit for that. He didn't get knocked out. He went up 2 weight classes, like it is. But the fact that in his head was something of a bragging right or a moral victory in itself, it tells me that at some point in the fight, he went from I'm going to win this fight to I'm not going to get knocked out. You know what I mean? As opposed to just everything is going towards I'm going to win this fight, which I think it would for David Benavidez. David Benavidez is not going in there not to lose. He's going in there to win. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Is Canelo Alvarez great the way you say he is, people say he is, the media? Or is he, really, really good, Probably should have lost those fights to Golovkin, if we're being honest, probably have a couple more losses on his record, but it is what it is. I got my opinion, you got yours. Question is, what do you think? Do you agree, disagree? Doesn't matter. Join the discussion, and please follow for more. Thank you.